Hello and welcome back to Mondo Musings. This is your presenter, Nicardo McLean. Now, the World Athletics Under-20 Championships, which recently wrapped in Kenya, provided a stage for some of the brightest budding stars in the sport to strut their stuff. As we anticipate their continued development, Mondo Musings serves up some inherently foggy forecasts featuring 10 freshly crowned World Under-20 champions who we could see in Eugene next year. Number 10. Vincent Keter, men's 1500 meters. Kenya's Vincent Keter delivered a command performance in the men's 1500 meters. The 19-year-old, who took full control of the contest with about 600 meters to go, serenely proceeded to secure gold ahead of the Ethiopian pair of Adisu and Azize, and in a respectable time, especially factoring Nairobi's altitude of 337.24. Instructively, he finished well ahead of tall, talented countryman Kamar Etiang, who was disqualified after originally crossing the line in third. This is the same Etiang who beat established seniors like eventual Olympic silver medalist Timothy Chariot to finish second at the Kenyan Olympic trials earlier this year, before ultimately missing out on a Tokyo 2020 spot because he hadn't yet been enrolled in the country's testing program. In an event that's often proven a crapshoot at the East African nations qualifiers, Keter could just be the youngster who makes his senior breakthrough there next year. Number 9. Tarese Werku, men's 3000 meters. Displaying maturity far beyond his listed 19 years, Werku completely controlled the first ever men's 3000 meters final at the championships, eventually strolling away from teammate Ali Abdelmana to strike gold in a time of 7 minutes 42.09 seconds. Having already held his own against some of the very best senior long-distance runners in the world, as evidenced by his 5th place finish in the 10,000 meters at the Ethiopian Olympic trials in June, it should come as no surprise if he pops up in either the 5,000 or 10,000 in Eugene. Number 8. Tina Clayton, women's 100 meters. Jamaican sprint starlet Tina Clayton nailed her best start of the championship and quite possibly her season to slam the women's 100-meter field, which included Olympic 200-meter finalist Beatrice Masalingi by 0.3 of a second, stopping the clock at a personal best 11.09. With the exception of the pandemic-blighted 2020 campaign, the 17-year-old sensation has bettered her 100-meter PB by roughly half the margin of improvement from the previous season every season since arriving on the secondary school scene in 2017. She dropped approximately 0.6 between then and the end of 2018, before shaving approximately 0.3 from 18 to 19. Improving by approximately half of the 0.18 she managed this year over 2019 would push her into sub-11 territory in 2022, which has historically always been good enough to secure at least a relay berth at Jamaican Nationals. Number 7. Cilia Tebogo, men's 100 meters. Botswana Tebogo, who was quite clearly the class of the field through the rounds, duly obliged in the men's 100 meters, easing away from the field late for a comfortable victory in 10:19. Having produced a senior national record run of 10:11 in the rounds, it appears that he's already at the front of the pack on his country's domestic scene. This suggests that achieving the qualifying standard, which stood at 10:10 for Doha 2019 and 10:05 for Tokyo 2020, may well be the most imposing obstacle standing in the 18-year-old's way. That, though, should be less of a problem for him than some other athletes, with Botswana's national stadium lying as it does 1,000 meters above sea level. Number 6. Maya Ascag, women's horizontal jumps. Sweden's Maya Ascag replicated her long jump, triple jump double at the European Under-20 Championships at World U20s. The 18-year-old kicked things off with a tight victory in the triple jump, outdistancing friendly rival Tessie Ebosele by 12 centimeters. She then made it 2 from 2 with an even tighter victory in the long jump, where a solitary centimeter was all that eventually separated her from silver medalist Shaili Singh. Having moved her PB in the long jump 58 centimeters this year alone, the arrow appears to be pointing straight up. Her 14.05 triple jump best at Euro U20s, which was over half a meter further than she did last year, also marks a progression by proverbial leaps and bounds. A qualifying standard in the 14.30s for Eugene should be well within this rising star's range. Number 5. Sasha Zoya, men's 110-meter hurdles. The French phenom, who chipped a chunk from compatriot William Bellocian's world junior record in the semis, absolutely smashed his newly acquired standard in the final. Having apparently never raced competitively over the 107-centimeter obstacles, how well he transitions to the senior ranks is purely a projection. However, at a listed height of 6 feet, getting over the higher barrier should be no problem at all. He also has a bit of history on his side. Of the top 3 from this event in 2018, silver medalist Orlando Bennett and bronze medalist Shunsuke Izumiya both qualified for the 2019 World Championships in Doha, with the man who finished ahead of them, Damian Thomas, still managing to produce a best of 13.5 during an injury-hit campaign. In fact, Zoya's most formidable challenge may just be finding a way to break up the top-notch French trio comprising Olympic finalist Pascal Martineau-Lagarde and Aurel Manga and reigning national champ Bellocian. Number 4. Anthony Pasella, men's 400 meters. Pasella finished like a freight train to run away with the gold and the championship record in the men's 400 meters. With veteran Isaac Makwala still going strong and London 2017 400 meters fourth placer Babalo Kithebe possibly on the way back to his best, the 19-year-old could prove to be a very useful addition to the Olympic 4x4 bronze medalist's extremely powerful long relay aggregation. Of course, having just surged into the number 4 spot on the Botswana all-time quarter-mile list, he might well be aiming for higher honors, like a berth in the individual 400. Number 3. Ima Bonguko, women's 400 meters. Ima Bonguko walked away from Nairobi with 3 gold medals. Her first came in the mixed relay, where she put in a sprightly 51-1 leg, the fastest by any female. A few days later, a stereotypically stirring stretch surge ultimately took her well clear of her rivals in the 400 meters, and she capped things with a 51-0 split, clearly the quickest by any competitor, to set up a facile victory for Nigeria in the women's 4x4. A Tokyo 2020 participant in the mixed relay, the 17-year-old should be a fixture in Nigerian quartets for years to come. Given the level of competition that she'll face week in and week out, achieving a projected 51-2 or 3 entry standard for next year's Worlds should be no problem for the relentless Baylor University recruit. Number 2. Cilia Kocsis, women's hammer throw. Olympian Cilia Kocsis made light work off the field in the women's hammer, winging the 4-kilo implement as far as 71.64 meters for a new championship record to gap her nearest rival by over 4.5 meters. Having already jumped to the top of the Finnish all-time senior list in the event, it's improbable that the Finn will be bested by 3 countrywomen in 2022. It's also unlikely that the qualifying standard in the event, which was 72.50 for Tokyo 2020, will be set somewhere that she's unable to reach. And number 1, Christine Mboma, women's 200 meters. As she did in Tokyo, Namibia's Christine Mboma uncorked a jet-fueled second 100 to ring up another 21.8 time and gold this time around in championship record-breaking style. Barring an extension of the ban on athletes with differences of sexual development to the shorter sprints, the Olympic 200-meter silver medalist is a virtual lock to make it to Eugene. And if she's able to piece together a serviceable start to pair with her otherworldly speed endurance, the planet's women will have quite a task, keeping her off the very top step of the medal podium. And that's it for another installment of Top 10 of the Weekend. So as you just heard, I just shared 10 names, 10 gold medal winners from Nairobi who I think could be in Eugene next year. What are your thoughts? Is there anybody that wasn't featured here that you think will definitely make a successful transition to the senior ranks? Let me know by dropping a line in the comment section, and let's have a muse. Thanks as always for watching. Until next time, Godspeed.